Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks for joining me. It's Monday, so it's time to just have some Monday mindfulness. And I must say thank you so much to all of you who joined in last week. I have to say the messages you've sent, do you know what? It's just blown me away. So thank you. I'm so pleased that so many of you are going to join us on this journey, and it's lovely to hear from those of you that have been journaling for years. And it's lovely that you're passing on your hints and tips to each other, because that's what we do. We're a sharing community on here. I mean, as you know, my idea here is I'm not going to show you anything earth-shattering, but I just want to spend good quality time with you. And hopefully, if you have a journal, or even if you just make some designs along the way, do you know what? That's a bonus. The main thing is that we just spend quality time together. Now, last week we looked at sort of my take on journaling. Obviously, as I have said to you, there are lots of different types of journals. You know, there are junk journals, there are diary journals, there are so many. I mean, I know some ladies got in touch and told me they have a different journal for depending how they're feeling. And that can just be, and that's a good idea. You know, if you want to journal for if you're having a bad day to it just makes yourself feel better, but then you can just put it away. And then those thoughts and feelings, sometimes you feel better for just, it's a bit like when you share a problem with a friend, isn't it? They always make you feel better. So I hope you just like the idea. And as I say, we're starting off nice and simple, and we're going to build our way up. Now, what I thought I'd look at today is, so in your journal, and again, this is, I know a few of you messaged me, and this is the rough one, the textured journal. Lavinia, do a smooth one. Now, I might have to just get my hands on a smooth one, just so I can actually show you the difference. I just love the feel of this almost rough natural paper, but obviously it's not as easy to stamp on. So that comes to what I thought we'd look at today. If you're somebody who is new, and again, you might be somebody who's been journaling for years, but a lot of journaling, it's a bit like scrapbooking, we're adding things. And that's what I love. I mean, you know us, we're hoarders, aren't we? Well, I call us collectors. We shouldn't be crafters, we should be collectors. Because I don't know about you, I collect lots of things. And a journal is a great way of adding them to your artwork. Now, if we're going to start with a page, again, it can be daunting. So if you've already done a design on a piece of card, you can always add it. So what I thought I'd do first is show you. So if you joined me last Tuesday, I made a piece of artwork with brushos. Just have to find it. And in fact, have I got the card? Yes, I can put my hands on it. So this was the card that we made using our beautiful new stamps and our brushos in the background. So what I thought I'd show you is what you can do with a piece of art is I've just taken my watercolour card, my piece of art, and I've added it to my journal. But I had great fun just making a double page spread look and adding my brushos. And a little bit of stamping in the background and one of our lovely sentiment stickers. So that's the sort of idea I thought we'd look at today. So I'm going to find a clean page. And what I'm going to do is, a while ago, I did a YouTube, and if I remember, I'll add it on the descriptions at the bottom, where we made some ATCs. So they're artist trading cards, and they're lovely little pieces of artwork. And again, if your mojo's gone, and a lot of you do get in touch and say, Mr. Mojo, because he's a bit of a tinker, he tends to go on holiday and he abandons us, and it's how to entice him back and keep him. I find 3 meals a day helps, and he likes an Ovaltine before he goes to bed. But anyway, I digress. So what I thought I'd do is we'd work a design round one of the ATCs. So I think we'll go for this one today. And I've just got mine in a little packet. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to add that and I'll build up a design around it. But this will be my starting point. So if you've got a little piece of artwork, you could join in. You could just make, now I'm probably going to create a scene, but it'll probably be quite abstract. Well, that's what I'm thinking. What I'm going to do is just add some copy paper, because I'm going to stamp this tree branch in sort of here is what I'm thinking. So, and I'm going to use my black VersaFine Clair. So this is my permanent ink. Again, such beautiful detail. But again, I've just caught the edge, so how are you keeping? I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're having a good week. And if not, as always, do you know what? We'll all come in and send you a nice big hug. As always, Eric is under my desk here, and bless him, he just made a big sigh. I have to say, took him out this morning, and considering it's summer in the UK, oh, it was torrential rain. So much so when I got back, I had to change even though I put my winter coat, my winter boots on, I had to change. And then I went out, I had to go to the vets to get his prescription. And again, I had to change. Now, don't worry, obviously, because this is textured, we've missed a little bit. That doesn't matter, because I'm actually going to pop this over, look. But if I was going to use that, I would just use my fine liner and fill it in. And that's just because, obviously, we've got all these things underneath. It's an uneven surface. Now, what I want to do is I want to see if I can stamp some more trees, some more of this branch. So what I'm thinking is, now, if I take this and open it, right, now this is where you need to be a bit of a stretch Armstrong, don't you? Sorry, other toys are probably available. And if you don't know what that is, it's something from my past. It was a toy with long stretchy arms. So let me just see. I just want to see if I can get some of these lovely branches. In fact, I'm going to take it off the block. I think that would work better. Just want some of these branches. Yes, there we go. Just so they're peeping in. And it's good about this because, you know, it makes you, oh, look, who's got ink everywhere? It makes you look at things in a different light and do things in a different way. Only want a little bit of that there. There we go. Now, I shall bring that back and I shall just wipe that ink off my hands. And then what I'm going to do with my fine liner is just add a few little, so if you've got any little, and also let's just join that here, because obviously it's hard stamping in the actual crease. And by the time we do this, nobody will ever know. And then we'll come in with, I've got one of my pound stamps, some leaves, and I'm just thinking if I stamp some of these, and again I'm going to stamp in black, make sure I've got my hands clean. Now, and again, a good press. Got to be mindful not to ink up. I tend to get in the bad habit of putting my block on here, which So if there's any bits that you weren't happy with, and like I say, I'm showing you exactly how these stamp. It's no good, you know, fast forwarding, and you need to see so you know at home. So obviously the larger stamp, you could see I was struggling stamping, but I didn't worry because I knew I was going to come in with the lovely leaves and add these. So any bits you're not happy with, like this bit here, you know, I've done some doodles, and yes, I'm sure as I was doing it, you were thinking, oh, Jo, that's not exactly fabulous. But the beauty of it is I knew I was going to come in with the leaves, and that will just distract from it. And I'm actually going to put some leaves coming across onto the other page. Because again, although this is just going to be a one-page design, I just want to have a hint of it on the other side. Now, let me be mindful where he's going to go there, isn't he? Yep, so we need some leaves at the bottom. And again, what I love about these sorts of designs is that they literally evolve. And when you're doing it in your journal, what I would plead with you is please don't tear pages out. If something doesn't work the way you want it, just carry on with it, or even make a note as to why it didn't work or what you didn't like. Because at the end of the day, it's your journal. I've even, if I've had 2 pages that I really, really didn't like, I've put my little clip on and I've clipped them together and I've written do not open. Because, you know, it does happen. We do have pages that we like more than others, but also we learn from it, don't we? So I'm just seeing how this is building up, and that's going to go there. See, I don't like that there, so let's put another. And often it's nice to see the process. It's nice to look and think, oh, I didn't like it at that stage. But by the time it got to that stage, I did. And just see where you've taken it. So I like the way that's building up, but this bit here is a bit, let's add some, see if we can stamp on there. Let's just see if we can, and again, a journal, it's very abstract, you know, like I say, doesn't have to be a perfect scene. Just happens I like sort of things to sort of flow. They don't have to exactly. I like that thing, that artistic license. There we go. That's annoying me up there. That needs to just go there. That's better. Right. So I'm just going to block that, because the last thing I want to do is smudge it. But that's going to be the basis. Just get rid of all these. But you know what? I think I will get my heat tool and just give it a bit of a dry. Just because. Now, if I look in my background, it's blue and grey. So I'm thinking I want this to match really. So I'll get some blue and some grey. And I'm going to use my brushes, and that's why I wanted this to be dry. So the blue's got to be my Della Blue. And as always, ink up and then on the lid. And I just want to add some blue. So I'm just gonna, and the good thing is about this, because we've got texture here, we will get that lovely texture. Now, if you've got anything underneath, so obviously I've got this embellishment here. So what I can do is I'm just going to get an extra piece of kitchen towel, and just put it at the side to almost pad it out a little. And again, you'll find this, the more embellishments you add, the more mindful you have to be to put paper under, you know, when you're stamping. And again, we're just adding a little bit of blue here. And again, I'm not being over precious because I want to come in with my graphite. But what I will do actually is just add some blue on the opposite page. And I'm going to bring in some stencils, I'm thinking. So right, so with the grey, and again on the lid, let's catch the edges. And again, I'm just going to add some grey on the opposite side. And I'm just going round the edge at the minute, so right. Now, I want to add some, I'm thinking of, to ground the whole thing. And like I say, this is all a process, so do bear with me. And what I'm thinking is using this stencil. And if I could remember what it was called, I would tell you. Stone, I think. I think this is stone. But I only want it at the base. So I'm thinking if I use my landscape mask, I'm going to have to turn my journal round. I'll tell you what, I'll take my little clip out because I think I'm going to get ink on there. That's the funniest thing with these. We never have space, do we? Well, when you start journaling. So what I'm thinking is I'd like the stones along the bottom. Now, if I use this, it would save putting masking tape on. So I'm thinking if I come in with the grey, so let's just lift these up and see. That's lovely, look. So we've got that edge and the stencil work. Now, I don't want to come over this edge because I'll have a straight line there. So I'm just going to stop just before. Just darken it up along that bottom edge. Have a look. Oh, I like that. So I'm just going to see if I can push that a little bit further along. See if we can hide the join and just go over the crease of the book. Now, I may just go slightly off camera, but honestly, you know what it's like. Oh, there we go. Right, I'll just do the other side. I'll try and get it so you can see. But like I say, you know what it's like at home, eh? We never have much space, but when you're trying to do a journal, but I'm hoping you can see. So I just want to bring that right along. To this side. And again, this I am actually, normally I would say tickle the stencil, wouldn't I? On this, no, I'm going full on onto the stencil. And I'm just going to put the lid on that so I can show you. So can you see we've got that lovely, lovely, and that runs right along both pages. So although this side's my focal point, I'd like a little bit of something on this side. And I will clean my stencil later. So to add some interest to the top, I'm thinking let's use feather leaf, because I'm thinking it goes with sort of the tree. So I'm going to see if blue on blue works. If it doesn't, I'll come in with the grey. But I'm thinking I'd like the blue. I may do a mixture. Now, I'm not using the lid. I'm coming straight this time because my blue, as I've told you before, I use it so much. Now, let's have a look. Oh, we can see, look. Oh, do you know what would be nice if I used grey on the edges? Where I've got, so it could be tone on tone, where I've got a grey edge, I could come in with the grey. Oh, I like that. See, this is, oh, look, I'm going to have to wipe that, aren't I? This is where, you know, sometimes you suddenly come up with an idea and you think, oh, I like that. I'm going to use that in my card making. So if I pop that here, so I'm loving this. And as I say, I wasn't thinking of doing that. Now, you know, I do need you ladies to keep an eye on where I put things. I've put my topper down. Oh, there we go. So this is going here, isn't it? Oh, so we do need that coming along here to add a bit more interest in that area. So I'll move that there, and it's the blue we need. And again, normally I would tickle the stencil, but this time my ink pad, if it's a new ink pad, please tickle your stencil. But mine's been used quite a lot. So that's going to go there. Yeah, I like that. A little bit behind here, I think. And again, you can just pick your area. That one. Lovely. And if you just bear with me, or if you're doing this at home, we'll add some lovely stenciling to this side as well. So I'll do one bit of blue there. And then I love that corner where I've done the two colours. So we'll do the same here. We'll add some blue in the middle. Stencils are such fabulous things, you know. I mean, you don't need a lot for this, do you? I'm only using 2 colours of ink. Couple of brushes. Like I say, your hardest thing is finding space. So let's come in with the grey on the edge. I did like that. And right down this side. Now, as always, I'm not sure how much I've put on there. I don't think I've put enough on. Oh, actually, we'll just have a tiny bit more, which is the grey. But I am going to tickle this because I don't want it to... I don't want this to take away from my main focal. I just want... Yeah. Let's just add a little bit up here in the grey. Yes. So that's that page. And here's our main one. So I'm just going to put the lids on my ink pads because... Let's check they're the right ones. No, look at that graphite. That's that one. Ah, it's a good job you told me then. So, I think that is starting to look really nice. Needs a little bit something here, doesn't it? So what I'm thinking is, I've got this gorgeous washi tape. Oh, and I love adding washi tape. And it's great because you can tear it. But I'm thinking this is going to look lovely. Down here, look. So, if I tear that there. And I'm thinking if I start it there. And then I'm just going to tear it there. Now, I do need one more on there, don't I? Can I add a little? No, I'm going to leave it. Should I add some this side? Or do I leave it? Oh, you see, decisions. Or do I put it right along? No, I don't like covering that leaf. I think I will add some this side. that's the beauty of this. You will literally just talk and talk to yourself. So I like that there. Now, I could have torn the bottom if I wanted to keep that jaggedy edge, but and again, if you wanted to cut round the houses, you could. Right, I like that. Just need some black ground in here, don't I? So chalk pastel pencils, I think. And what I'm thinking is if I just bring, and it'll just add to the continuity, a bit of smudging, and right along. Just going to smudge that edge as well. Just like the edge is smudged. You almost want to make a feature of the fact that you've stopped where your washi tape stops. Now, if you wanted, you could even do your shadows, look, for the houses. Quite like that. Do. Now, they're going to be the moons there, so these are going to start going this way, aren't they? Now, I'm going to add some white Posca splats to bring in that as well. Just want some sentiment, but I'm going to add that later. So let's just add a little bit of highlighting and some Posca. So, where's my... And again, this makes all the difference. So we'll add some white highlights. Just the odd one or two. Don't want to overcook it because I've got to add my white Posca splats. And as we know, so I'm thinking time for the Posca splats. What do you think? Because we've got a space here, and that's where I'm going to add my sentiment. But I just want my Posca splats on first. And again, I want these to be quite... And I'm going to take my little topper out. And I'm just going to stick that down. That was called Night Owl, and I made that look on the 28th of July 2021. It's always nice to date them. In fact, what I need to do before I stick that down is actually make a note of that, don't I? So where's my pen? So this is called Night Owl. So we'll just add that there. And I've used my Bittity Boppity glue. And the beauty of this is if you just use your finger and just smudge it to the edges, dry my finger, gives me a bit of wiggle time. So let's see where that... And then press that down. And then I've got one of our lovely sentiments that says, day is over, night has come, today is gone, what's done is done. Embrace your dreams through the night. Tomorrow comes with a whole new light. And I like that, and I'm thinking if I cut this, what I tend to do is I stamp my sentiment on a piece of card. And journaling's a great way of cutting sentiments up and adding them. So, and the beauty of it is Tracy's left enough space between this that we can cut this up. And again, I'm using a larger pair of scissors. And the hardest bit for me here is getting this in the right order. So I'm just thinking, you see, if I just cut these. And again, I love cutting sentiments up in journals. Right, days over, night has come, today's gone. And again, you can take your time with this and just decide. I mean, originally I did wonder whether to have that over this side, but I like it over here. Now, I like that there. Thinking that can go there. Don't want them totally under each other, you see. I like just a little bit. Right, I'm happy with that. So, I like that one up there. And again, I've got wiggle time with me bitty boppity glue. And again, it dries clear, so it's beautiful for in a journal. And when you think, you know, it's just the whole process, we've just taken our time and just created this. And it's just sort of organically happened. Now, as always, I just want to put a little edge round my words. It's totally up to you how you want to edge them. Like I say, it's your journal. I just like to do a... And again, for me, because I don't have to think about it, and I want it to look quite sketchy, but if you want it to be perfect, you have it perfect. Again, I keep saying it, but it's all what you would like. And we'll have a little bit of the heart monitor squiggle. Again, I don't want to overthink it. In fact, I'm just going to edge this as well. Just to give it that more sketchy feel. If you want to add some black thread, that's nice. That just goes with that sketchy feel. But I have to say, I think that is looking... So that's the actual... And again, we've only taken inspiration from our little ATC and created such a lovely, lovely background. Couple of last finishing tricks I just want to add a little bit of sparkle. So what I'm going to do is bring in a little bit of our brush O Sprinkle It. Now this is gorgeous. We've got some sparkle on here, so I'm just going to add a little bit of misting with water, and then where I've misted, and it's lovely because that water will react with the stenciling I did was our Elements ink pads, so that's dye based. It will react with water. But it's nice because even if it moves the stenciling a little, I don't mind, I'm happy with that. So the same on this side, lightly spritz it. And we'll add, and that's why I didn't flick water. Normally I would flick water on a design like this, but I knew that I wanted to add a little bit of sparkle, and as that dries, the sprinkle it will dry. And I just think that gives it more of a, with it being the night owl. And then last little thing, I've got some dewdrops here, and I was thinking of adding some of these. Oh, I've got a couple of blue ones. Yeah, I need a couple of these. Collected these over the years. As I say, we are collectors. It's what we do. So any little embellishments you've got, you source your embellishments. We'll just put 3 on. But as always, the biggest thing will be where we're going to put them. Oh, I like one on there. Yep. So, a little bit of glue. And there we go. So I hope you like that. And I hope it's just given you a little bit of inspiration, answered a few of those questions. So for those of you who were asking about the stamping, you've seen how ideas of how what can help you stamping and ways of getting round things. But as I say, I think it's just such a lovely way to create another page in our little journal. So we've got our gorgeous night owl here. And like I say, if you want to see how I created that, I will put a link to the YouTube, just an ATC, but any piece of artwork you've got, just maybe add it to your journal and create yourself a little bit of a frame around it. So thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you for spending time with me. And as always, I love reading your comments. And thank you very much for subscribing. That means the world as well. So until next week, I hope you have a lovely week. You take care of yourselves, please, and do something nice for somebody else. Just a little bit of pass it on goodness. That means so much. You take care. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.